Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Ranting Politics Headline Updates. I'm your host JOC, and we've got quite a lineup for you this afternoon. We're diving into Attorney General Pam Bondi's dramatic first day at the DOJ with some major shakeups coming to the Justice Department. Then we'll unpack Trump's eyebrow-raising plan for the Gaza Strip that's got everyone talking. We've also got the latest on federal judges putting the brakes on Trump's Birthright Citizenship order, and believe it or not, a massive egg heist in Pennsylvania that perfectly captures our current economic mess. Stick around. This is going to be a wild ride. Fresh off her Senate confirmation, Attorney General Pam Bondi is wasting no time reshaping the Department of Justice with some seriously bold moves. According to an exclusive New York Post report, she's rolling out directives that would make a seasoned bureaucrat's head spin. First up, she's taking aim at what she calls the weaponization of justice by establishing a working group to review politically charged prosecutions from the past 4 years. And yes, that includes taking a hard look at those cases against Trump by Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, and Letitia James. I guess turnabout is fair play in Washington these days. But wait, there's more. Bondi's bringing back the federal death penalty with a vengeance, literally. She's not just lifting the moratorium, she's ordering prosecutors to actively seek capital punishment, especially for violent drug trafficking crimes. And those 37 death row inmates who got a reprieve under Biden? Well, Bondi's made it clear she wants justice for their victims' families. Here's where it gets really interesting. She's declaring all-out war on cartels. We're talking about a complete overhaul of how the DOJ tackles transnational criminal organizations. No more picking off small-time players. Bondi wants to go straight for the jugular of these operations. And if you're working at the DOJ, you better get on board with the program. Bondi's made it crystal clear. Any attorney who refuses to advance good faith arguments for the administration or drags their feet might want to update their resume. She's not playing around with what she calls personal political views, getting in the way of the department's mission. Finally, she's taking a wrecking ball to DEI programs at the Justice Department, demanding they be completely dismantled by March 15th. Looks like merit is back on the menu, folks. One thing's for certain, the DOJ we knew yesterday isn't the DOJ we'll see tomorrow. Well, folks, Trump just dropped quite the bombshell about his plans for Gaza, and let me tell you, it's raising eyebrows from Tel Aviv to Tehran. During a press conference with Prime Minister Netanyahu, he announced that the U.S. would take over the Gaza Strip in what he's calling a long-term ownership position. Talk about thinking outside the box. But before anyone starts packing their military bags, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt quickly jumped in to clarify things. According to her, there won't be any American boots on the ground, and U.S. taxpayers won't be footing the bill. Instead, she says Trump plans to leverage his deal-making skills with regional partners. The plan, as outlined by Trump himself, involves essentially hitting the reset button on Gaza, leveling damaged buildings, clearing unexploded ordnance, and launching an economic development program that he claims will create jobs and housing. It's basically turning Gaza into a massive reconstruction project. Not surprisingly, this proposal has sparked quite the reaction. Hamas officials are calling it a crime against humanity, and even some of Trump's usual allies on Capitol Hill are raising concerns. Senator Lindsey Graham said it might be problematic, while Democratic Senator Chris Coons was left speechless. But Majority Leader John Thune seemed more philosophical about it all, suggesting Trump's just putting ideas out there to promote a more peaceful Middle East. Meanwhile, Leavitt's defending the president's vision, calling him an outside-the-box thinker who solves problems others claim are unsolvable. Whether this particular solution will fly, well, that's another story entirely. In another setback for the Trump administration, a second federal judge has put the brakes on the president's controversial Birthright Citizenship executive order. Judge Deborah Boardman of Maryland's Federal District Court issued a nationwide preliminary injunction, effectively preventing the order from taking effect on February 19th. The case was brought by 2 immigrant rights organizations and 5 pregnant women who argued that Trump's order would unconstitutionally deny their future children U.S. citizenship based solely on their parents' immigration status. Judge Boardman didn't mince words, stating that virtually every baby born on U.S. soil is a U.S. citizen upon birth, and that this tradition would remain the status quo while the case works its way through the courts. This ruling actually supersedes a previous 14-day hold from Seattle Judge John Coffiner, who had called the order blatantly unconstitutional. At the heart of the dispute is Trump's interpretation of the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause, particularly that phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The administration argues this excludes children of illegal immigrants and certain non-citizens from automatic citizenship. But legal challengers say the president can't unilaterally rewrite constitutional interpretation. With at least 8 cases now filed nationwide challenging this policy, it looks like we're in for quite a legal battle. The administration maintains they're on solid constitutional ground, but for now at least, the courts aren't buying what they're selling. In what might be the most bizarre crime story of the week, someone has made off with a whopping 100,000 eggs from a distribution trailer in central Pennsylvania. We're talking about 40 grand worth of eggs, folks, stolen right from Pete and Jerry's Organics in Greencastle. The timing couldn't be worse, with egg prices already sending shoppers into sticker shock across the country. You see, we're dealing with a perfect storm in the egg market right now. A nasty bout of avian flu has been decimating egg-laying hen populations, with nearly half of 2024's bird losses happening just in November and December. The result? Egg prices have shot up to $4.15 a dozen in December. That's up from $3.65 just a month earlier, and a jaw-dropping 36% increase from the previous year. It's gotten so bad that even Waffle House, yes, that beloved Southern institution, has had to slap a 50-cent surcharge on each egg they serve. When the home of scattered, smothered, and covered has to start nickel and dimming customers over eggs, you know we're in trouble. No word yet on who's behind this egg heist or where all those stolen eggs might have ended up, but with prices being what they are, someone's apparently decided that egg running is the new bootlegging. Pennsylvania State Police are on the case, but I've got to wonder, is this the start of a new crime wave or just some really ambitious meal prep? And that wraps up today's whirlwind tour through the headlines. From Bondi's dramatic DOJ shakeup to Trump's ambitious Gaza plans, constitutional showdowns over birthright citizenship, and even grand theft ego. Who knew 2025 would start off quite this interesting? If you want to stay ahead of these wild political times, follow us on X at RantingRP and head over to rantingpolitics.com for more in-depth coverage and daily updates. This is JOC signing off, and thank you, our loyal listeners, for choosing Ranting Politics headline updates. We'll be back soon with the updates you need to navigate these interesting times. Until then, stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, stay free.